What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This one's a little bit different. This is for absolute beginners. If you know anything about production, find another video. If you just opened up FL Studio for the first time and you want to make a rap song and you don't know anything, then you're right where you need to be. I'm not going to tell you anything you don't need to know. I'm just going to tell you the quickest path possible to making a song. Now, there's going to be a couple different things you might see when you open up the program. Look at these four buttons. You can go ahead and click through. This one brings up the mixer. This is going to be your channel rack. This is going to be piano roll. And this is your playlist or arranger window. Okay, so you can kind of click through to get the ones that you need, just like that. What we want to see is just the arranger and this playlist editor here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a clap. And then if this isn't long enough, you can just go ahead and drag it out. I've got mine dragged all the way out. Clap here, 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 and here. So we're making a beat. We're going to add some lyrics. But right now we got to make a beat, and that starts with some drums. Add a snare, the 808 snare. Add it on the same notes, and you can also add one there, one there, one there. Right-click this hi-hat selector. Fill each two steps. And then I'm just clicking and right-clicking here. Click in some kicks there. Click in some kicks there. I'm going to add another kick there just for fun. And there for fun. Now, you can hover over your playlist window. Click it if you need to bring that back up, your playlist or arranger. Click over to the pencil right here. Make sure you're selected on that. And then go ahead and click right at the beginning of the grid there. You don't want it off in the middle. You don't want it like that. You want it right up pressed against the beginning and pressed up against each other so they fit nicely in these boxes. Go ahead and up here, make sure this is green, selected for song, not pattern. And then you go ahead and play. We got drums. I'm going to go back to the channel rack here. I'm going to add a hi-hat here and a hi-hat here. Two there. That should give us some variation, make it a little bit more interesting. Now we need an 808 bass drum. We need that bass, that boom. That boom, that was dumb. Wish I hadn't said that. But we're going live. Go ahead and click add, and down near the bottom you'll find flex. It's going to be under new and flex. Okay, we're in flex. Go over to the side here where it says mobile tuned 808 bass and go to 808 distorted. A lot of fun options, but this is a go-to that I know will work. We'll stay mostly in this one. Go ahead and click your channel rack selector up here so we can get back to the channel rack. Now right-click 808 distorted and go to piano roll. Now you can go ahead and click through anywhere. That's not going to help you though. You want to do two things. One, you want to go ahead and start a new playlist just by adding this button here. X out. You don't need to name anything. It's not important. Go ahead and draw in notes. Make sure you're on pencil up here. Left click. And then look for the range that sounds good. That's a nice booming bass there. Make sure it's on this black key. You're going to want to spread them out like this. So you've got that one, that two up here. You're going to want to drop them in just like so. So it carries right over the edge of the two. And do it again, starting at the 3 over here. And then go down to C4. Now, generally, for the rest of this, you can click around anywhere on the black keys is going to sound somewhat okay. It might not sound great, but as long as you start your kick, your 808 bass on this D sharp 4, and have some little variation, you'll be able to work with any of the black keys. All right, let's draw those notes in. Or those playlist clips, rather. Just draw it right under the drums. Now let's go ahead and make sure we're on song selection. Hit play. I don't know if I showed you, but if I go back to piano roll, you can just drag the ends of these notes, get them right where you want to be. And you want all of these dragged out for mostly all the way. Actually, I might drag this one in to right there. That should give us a little bit of variation. Perfect. Now we need a melody. Let's go back into add, go to flex. You still with me? This is going to get good here soon. Go to pianos, essential pianos here on this side. And then let's do Steinway D. I think that's the one I was messing around with before. Double click it, hit the plus, just X out because you don't need that. And then let's go ahead and go into piano roll. And now any of these black keys are going to sound good. I think this will probably sound especially good. Keeping it on those black keys. You can go higher too if you wanted, but we'll just stick to that for now. Go over to your pattern playlist arrangement window thing here, and you can just go ahead and click those in. Add some variation, whatever kind of pattern you want, whatever length of notes, but I know some notes that length and that pattern are going to sound decent. All right, we won't waste any more time. What we'll need is a counter melody. Let's go back to add and again to flex. Then we can just leave it on dystopian lead. On Arc Sun Cityscape, if you're on this should be like the stock one it brings up. Go ahead and click the plus sign to get another pattern. Close, we don't need to name anything, waste of time. And then you can go ahead and go into piano roll. And now let's draw in some notes. This is going to be a longer pattern to kind of offset the short staccato that we have on the piano. Anywhere in the black keys should be fine. But definitely you're going to want to mess around, see what sounds good to you. I'm going to do this. The other thing is generally having more squared off note lengths, like not having your notes end and start like that. It's going to put you in a better position generally. All right, let's go over here with our pencil. We're just going to click that in. All right, let's see what we got. And that's a beat, my friends. It may sound a little trashy, but something to get started. All right, let's go back to our window here. We're going to assign numbers to all of these. I'm going to put my 808 distorted at 5, my Steinway D piano at 6. You just click and drag up that to 7. This is going to make sure all of our instruments are on the mixer track. Go ahead and click this button to get back to your mixer. And now let's go ahead and mess with the levels using these faders here to get a good or decent mix, I should say. I think that pad lead swell thing is way too loud. I'm going to pull that way down. I also pulled down the clap and snare a little bit. You can see what levels I messed with, just to kind of get it to taste. Using these presets, you should be in a pretty good position. Now we're going to get some vocals down. Now I don't have a rap written, so I'm going to have to write a rap. And that might take a second, so I'll probably hard cut. But right before I do that, I will go ahead and click these so that we get a longer beat. We can't just have a 10-second beat. That wouldn't make any sense. Some of this might seem obvious. I'm trying to go to the lowest level of knowledge needed to follow along with what I'm doing. That way, if you're just starting out, maybe you're really young, maybe you don't have any experience with music theory, that this can actually make some sense to you. All right, and then we'll click through here. All right, this is at least something to work with. Now you can right click to delete things. And I'm going to delete out the drums and the 808 out of the intro. So this will be our little intro, then the beat will drop. And then to add some variation, I'll delete the piano out of here. And then I'll delete the pad out of here. That should give us a couple different feels throughout the beat. Now I'm going to cut here. I'm going to write some lyrics. And hopefully you have a mic, because we're going to need a mic to record this next part. All right, cut now. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you recording live because the mic either has to be hooked into the interface or the camera. But I got those tracked out, and I want to show you how I did that. First off, I didn't mention this before, but you go into your audio settings, check your default audio device, and select it to your interface or your USB mic, whatever audio input source. Hopefully you have some sort of a microphone. It's going to make this a whole lot easier. And then go into your mixer and then select a channel. I select the channel 10, and you can select here the drop down to your input where your mic is connected, or just your flat out USB mic. Click that, activate the record button up here, and then you click play and it will record along with your song. So I did that, but now we're going to get into how to mix these so it doesn't just sound like a raw recording. Here's what it sounds like right now. It's a little bit of a problem because I can't hear any of that. Go ahead and put it onto a track by clicking the audio file and drag that number there and assign it a mixer track like we do with the other instruments. Go ahead and click that mixer button again, and then it'll pre-select that mixer track there. Now over here we can add our effects. Definitely going to need some effects on this. First things first, go ahead into Fruity Parametric EQ, drop that 1 down right about there. This is going to be to taste, but this will be a good starting point for us. And then next we'll select Fruity Limiter. And my vocals were really quiet on this recording for some reason. I'm going to turn that gain all the way up and that ceiling pretty low. You might have to adjust it for yours. This is going to be dependent on how loud your vocals were going into it. And then next thing, we're going to add an effect called Fruity Convolver. That's down here under the delay reverb. And then go ahead and turn the wet dry knob to pretty low. We just want a touch of this. I made the beat in a minute. She told me she knew me, she did it. She had to admit I was winning. She wants percentage. Don't think I'm getting the message. It really doesn't sound that bad. Let's go back into that mixer. I'm going to play it and adjust while we're moving through it here, just to taste. I'm sure you could do this too. Again, the lows are on this side, the highs are on this side, so you just adjust kind of what you're hearing. I made the beat in a minute. She told me she knew me, she did it. She had to admit I was winning. She wanted percentage. Don't think I'm getting the message. I'm going to go over here, drag this ceiling down a little bit. I made the beat in a minute. She told me she knew me, she did it. She had to admit I was winning. She wanted percentage. Don't think I'm getting the message. I don't think I'll get what I do. I tried out the rhythm and wrote out the beat. Now let's do a little bit of mixing here. I'm going to bring down the piano and that pad just to make more room for the vocals in this mix. I made the beat in a minute. She told me she knew me, she did it. She had to admit I was winning.
She want his percentage.
Now, that's going to be good enough for now. Let's go into the mastering portion of this. And that's going to happen with Maximus. But go over into presets, go to Clear Master RMS.
I made the beat in a minute. She told me she knew me, she didn't. She had to admit I was winning.
All right, and then go ahead and export as an MP3. You can save it wherever you want. I'll just go ahead and save it to my drive here. You don't need to change any settings here, but go ahead and slide this MP3 bitrate all the way to 300 kilobytes per second, just so it's max quality, and then go ahead and hit start. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are thinking, wow, that song sounds like trash, then, you know, it's your first song, so it should sound a little bit like trash. But that's just to give you the lay of the land for FL Studio. One, if that was too hard, then music production probably isn't for you. Two, if you're inspired to make more stuff, you can check out my other videos. Tons of tutorials on YouTube. I've been doing this for 10 years. That's how I got started, is just looking up tutorials, answering questions, and just learning. The more beats you make, the more songs you write, the better you'll get at all this stuff. I appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions on anything specific on starting out in FL Studio, anything I might have glossed over or just totally skipped, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions, help you out while you're getting started in this new endeavor. Appreciate you watching. I'll catch you on the next one.